If you could do me a favor and put your name and where you're from in that little form where you're watching this webinar, and I'm going to enter you guys in a raffle, and someone at the end of this live broadcast gets to win a free cookbook called 1 Degree of Change. It's a great cookbook you can use not just for detoxification and purification, but for all year round to give you some inspiration. If there's anyone who's already heard this spiel already, let me know in the forum as well so that I can make some alterations to how I present this material. So a little bit about me. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. I have both degrees in nursing and naturopathy. I became a naturopath first, decided that I didn't have enough tools, and then I went back to nursing school. So I feel really great about the information that I have, the way that I can bridge the two worlds together of Western and alternative medicine. I'm also an intuitive healer, and it took me a long time to own up to this because I was like, this is so woo-woo. People are going to think I'm crazy. But the reality is that I've been given special gifts so that I can help you uncover the root causes of what your health issues are and what might be holding you back from being who you want to be and living an optimal, healthy life. I have over 20 years of teaching, first in music and then in healthcare. I founded Oasis Wellness in 2014 because I really wanted to do this work full time. I have a mission, I have a passion to help pioneer a new paradigm of healing and wellness using earth-based holistic practices and the best available products and modalities, because let's face it, our healthcare system is so broken. We are given pharmaceutical drugs left and right. We get to spend maybe 10 minutes with our physician, and then they just give us drugs, or they don't know. A lot of people getting antidepressants these days. I think the system is broken. I want people to feel empowered and happy about the healthcare choices that they're making. All right, so you guys let me know if you don't. Kathleen's got audio. I don't see anybody else popping in. So make sure you put your name and where you're from in that form so we can make sure that you get entered into the raffle for the free cookbook. So why do you want to purify? 80,000 chemicals in the US. They cause so many different problems with our body system, our immune system, our nervous system. We get sick, we get anxious from these chemicals. Did you know they make you anxious? They make you depressed. They affect your blood sugar levels. They affect your thyroid gland. If you're tired all the time, your thyroid gland is probably toxic. All right, we've got Kathleen and Elizabeth here. I want to know who else is here, you guys, so fill out that form. And the worst thing about these chemicals, they prevent people from having a baby. They make women have really heavy, obnoxious periods. I don't know about you, but I don't want cramps to hold me back. Like, I just want to have my period, have it be easy, be done. But if we get toxic from these chemicals, they can affect our body in very bad ways. All right, moving on, if I can get my PowerPoint to behave itself. There we go. Okay, so we live in this toxic environment. We have air and water pollutants. If you're in LA, there's a big methane leak that you need to be paying attention to. That doesn't really make the mainstream news. They've already evacuated one town. It's a really big deal. A lot of people still smoke, even though there are less places to smoke. You can still be exposed to those cigarette smoke, those cigarettes. A lot of vaping, but vaping still contains the chemicals. Our personal care products, oh my God, our cosmetics, moisturizers, lotions, makeup are full of so many chemicals, and those chemicals get absorbed into our bodies through our skin. I want you to grab your selfie cam, and I want you to look in your mouth and see if you have mercury fillings. You have metal fillings. If you see silver in your mouth, that means you have mercury. You have heavy metals. And it doesn't mean you have to run to your dentist right now to get them taken out, because that can cause its own problems, but you want to make sure that you are detoxifying. Household cleaning products, another source of so many chemicals. I use vinegar and water and orange oil to clean my house, to clean my office, just to clean in general. You don't need those toxic chemicals. Again, those pesticides and herbicides. Oh man, I was looking outside my window today and I saw a guy in a hazmat suit spraying what I'm assuming are weed killers into the median where there are all sorts of plants. And those chemicals have to go somewhere. They usually go right into the water supply and the ocean and the rivers. Nasty. Pharmaceutical drugs, huge source of toxins. I have a lot of clients who come to me on pharmaceuticals, on antidepressants, on thyroid meds. There's so much we can do naturally to support the body, but pharmaceuticals, if our liver is not working properly, they can cause problems. And especially if you're on multiple pharmaceuticals, those chemicals then interact, and it's even harder for the body to detoxify them. Preservatives and additives. Did you know that there are $15 billion worth of food coloring additives to food sold in this country every year? $15 billion. That's a boatload of artificial colors. So scary. Goes into the food. You got to read your labels. Trans fats, genetically modified fats. So when McDonald's got in trouble for using trans fats for their French fries, what do they change to? Genetically modified soybean oil. Ew, my body doesn't really know how to deal with that. Yours probably doesn't either. There's so many other toxins out there. All right, so how do our internal organs assist in purification? We can't put a vacuum cleaner in and like suck it all out. We got to do it from our internal organs. So our liver, God, our liver's the quarterback of detox. Our liver's the quarterback. It's the powerhouse of detoxification and even digestion. So the liver helps to filter out those toxins. It aids the body in metabolizing fat, proteins, and carbs. What does that mean? It means it breaks them down, and it can also build them back up again. So if we need to break down those nutrients and send them elsewhere, get them to the cells, it can do that. If we need to make them to send it to the cells, it can do that too. The liver transforms many toxins into harmless substances. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute, how that all works. Liver partners with kidneys. Kidneys are like the wide receiver, right? If the wide receiver is sitting down, the liver's like, hey, I want to throw you the ball, but the kidneys can't catch it. So the kidneys filter waste and excess fluid from the blood, and they regulate the right balance of the electrolytes like sodium, phosphorus, and potassium for the body to function properly. If you have a lot of sugar in your blood, if you have elevated blood sugar, that's really hard on the kidneys. And certain pharmaceutical drugs like NSAIDs, ibuprofen, really hard on the kidneys. And at the same time, if the liver's not working right, the kidneys can't do its job either. So when you wake up in the morning and you have to pee really bad, that's because you are flushing out all those toxins that your liver and kidney have processed during the night. So what other organs help with a purification? Small intestine. The small intestine digests food so that the nutrients can be absorbed into the blood and taken straight to the liver. Now, the small intestine has a huge 6-layer barrier that blocks toxins from the rest of the body. But guess what? Most of us, our 6-layer barrier is down to 0 or 1. And those toxins are going straight into the blood, straight into the liver, because of food, antibiotics, different chemicals that have broken down those barriers over the years. And then our large intestine. Large intestine makes poop, right? It absorbs the water and the minerals from our food, and it makes waste that gets excreted from the body, helps make us poop. If you are constipated, that means that those toxins are getting resorbed into the body from the large intestine because they're not getting flushed out. The large intestine also makes antibodies for your GI health because 70% of your immune system, we now know, is in the digestive tract. And then the large intestine also contains bacteria that make fatty acids and vitamins for extra mineral support. So again, constipation is a big problem for a lot of people. It's stress related, it's diet related, it's toxin related. If you're constipated, you're toxic. That's why when you're constipated and your farts smell so bad, that's the large intestine. Okay, so let's talk about the liver as our primary organ of detoxification. It's the quarterback. I'm not going to go too into detail with what these terms mean, but basically, phase 1 through the cytochrome P450 enzymes breaks down the toxin into a different form. Now, sometimes what's called a metabolite, those metabolites can be more toxic than the original substance. But then the liver carries out what's called phase 2 detox, and that breaks it down through many different processes into a non-toxic substance for the body to then excrete it through bile, through feces, through your poop, and through your pee. And what can happen if you're on, let's say, a pharmaceutical drug? I had a client who got a flu vaccine before she came to me, and that affected her P450 cytochrome. Well, what happened is a few weeks later, she got a urinary tract infection went to her primary care. They prescribed an antibiotic for the urinary tract infection, and she got something called Stevens-Johnson syndrome because of that antibiotic, because her body could no longer process out the metabolites from the flu vaccine and from the antibiotic. And so her skin basically started attacking itself. She was one of the lucky ones. When she came to me, she was only dealing with blisters. They were very painful blisters. Some people with Stevens-Johnson syndrome end up in burn units with third-degree burns where their skin has basically attacked itself from the inside out. This is a serious matter. You really need your liver working properly for you. So phase 1 breaks it down to an original metabolite, to the first metabolite. Phase 2 breaks it down into the unharmful, you could say, product for your body to take it out. But if those processes aren't working for you, then you're not going to be able to detoxify. Of course, diet plays a huge role in our toxic load and in our excess weight. Monosodium glutamate, that's a neurotoxin that makes you eat until your mouth has an orgasm. That's why when you eat foods with monosodium glutamate, you eat and eat and eat. Also makes us gain weight, a lot of weight. High fructose corn syrup. Oh man, our body does not know what to do with that fructose in that corn syrup, in those sodas, not just in sodas, in so many different products. And then aspartame in diet soda, that's not any better than the sugar or high fructose corn syrup in sodas. It's also a neurotoxin, just like monosodium glutamate. We have trans fats. That's basically where they change the chemical structure of a fat. Now what they're doing, instead of trans fats, they're genetically modifying those fats to have the same process. And then, of course, sugar. Sugar is a toxic chemical all on its own. A little bit of sugar, like as a treat for a birthday here and there, probably wouldn't affect you much. But we have treats every single day. I know people who go to Starbucks and get a treat every single day. So if you are just joining us, if you will do me a favor and put your name and where you're watching from in the form, the question form that's right below where you're seeing this, so that we can enter you into the raffle, into the drawing for our free cookbook, 1 Degree of Change. All right, so what are we eating? So a lot of you guys listening, I know that you are not eating fast foods. You're beyond that point. However, there are still so many chemicals even in restaurant foods. More than 3,000 are allowed to be added to our food, not just those artificial food colors, not just the monosodium glutamate, not just the aspartame. So the average person consumes more than 75 pounds of sugar annually. That's 16% of total calories. Of course, I know that you guys listening are not eating that much sugar. So now imagine the person who's having 150 pounds of sugar or 200 pounds of sugar in their diet every year. Where does that go? Goes to your liver, goes to your organs. So these are some really interesting slides. So in 1990, you can see that primarily the Midwest and southern states had about 10 to 14% obesity rates. But now watch this. By 2000, come on, PowerPoint. Oops, we skipped one. I'm gonna go back. There we go. Okay, so by 2000, Colorado was the only state left that had 10 to 14% overweight and obesity. Whoa, what happened in those 10 years? Well, a lot of things happened. Genetically modified foods got introduced into the diet. That's one of them. That's a big one. People were just eating more fast foods. People just getting stressed out. Okay, well then here's what happens by 2009. Colorado is the only state with 15 to 19%. Everyone else is over 20% or above for overweight trends. We see it everywhere, right? Like you just see it everywhere you go. It's a really sad state. And when you're overweight, those toxins get stored in the fat cells. Now, I do have a toxicity questionnaire that I can email to you. So if you are interested in getting a copy of this toxicity questionnaire to help evaluate your levels of toxicity and see if you want to detoxify, let me know. And you can put it in the form with your email address, or you can just reply to the email that you got with the link to this webinar, and I will send it off to you. So just let me know, and I'm happy to send that to you. That'll be in PDF form. So what can you do in 21 days? Oh my gosh, you guys would be surprised. A lot can happen. I know that my friend Kathleen has been blogging that she gave up sugar in the month of February, and it happened a whole lot faster than she thought it would. So way to go, Kathleen. I think that's awesome. So much can happen in 21 days. The last time I did a purification program, I lost 8 pounds in 12 days. A lot of that was probably water weight that I was holding on to, but dang, I felt so much better. I didn't even know I needed to lose that weight. And during that time, you can get rid of those toxins. You can reestablish a better weight for yourself. You can start getting into the habit of living a healthier lifestyle. Guys, it's all about habits. Good habits happen in 21 days. Meditation, cutting out sugar, cutting out alcohol or caffeine, incorporating vegetables into your diet. Those all happen in 21 days. Having more energy. Oh my gosh, everyone is so tired. It's like we have competitions to say, are you more tired? Oh my God, no. I am so exhausted. Do you know what I did this weekend? Everyone's exhausted. I want to start a new trend. I want to feel awesome. I want everyone feeling awesome and energetic. And of course, you can also improve your digestion. If you're someone who has a lot of gas, a lot of constipation, discomfort, purifying your body can really get your digestion to the next level. All right, so someone did a study of 28 chiropractic patients using the 21-day purification program, and they noticed a change in their lipid levels, so their triglycerides went down and their weight went down. I gotta tell you, I'm not a fan of a calorie-restricted diet because it makes you hungry and tired, unless you are supporting yourself with the proper nutrients, and that's what this 21-day purification program does. It gives you the right nutrients so you're not hungry, so you don't feel like you're starving, because that just feels yucky. It makes you tired, it makes you grumpy. Here are the foundational products for the purification program. We use something called SP Cleanse for the first 7 days. It's a plant-based product that helps the liver and kidneys and intestines get those toxins out. We have SP Complete or SP Complete dairy-free. These are nutritious shakes. It's a powder, it's a protein powder you put into your smoothie a few times a day, and it's really yummy. And it will help keep your blood sugar stable. Gastrofiber, a whole food fiber for fiber support, and something called SP Green Food. I actually take that all the time. My liver loves SP Green Food, so I take it all the time, but it's also part of the purification product. SP Cleanse. So it supports kidney, liver, and gallbladder function. Even if you don't have a gallbladder, and especially if you don't have a gallbladder, the liver needs that, the liver's producing that bile to get those toxins out. So if you don't have a gallbladder, I wish you did, but we can still help you. The liver has a little bit more work to do for creating bile with every meal where you're eating fat. SP Cleanse also makes for a healthy digestive system, helps support normal elimination of toxins, and gets those toxins out. So we have 4 different ways for the body to detoxify, to get those toxins out. Our skin, if you're someone who's prone to skin issues, that's because your skin is detoxing. Our lungs, people with asthma or chronic cough, your body's trying to get those toxins out through our urinary system, through the urine, and then through our digestive system. And that's primarily through healthy bowel movements. Every day, you guys, gotta have a bowel movement every day. So the key ingredients in SP Cleanse, we have juniper berry, which is a diuretic. We have red clover flower that cleans the blood, apple pectin, burdock root. Burdock root is in a lot of natural cancer formulas because of how it helps detoxify with kidney and liver function. Barley grass gives the body vitamin C, vitamin B, lots of minerals. Spanish black radish, man, Spanish black radish is awesome. It supports detoxification by getting the lymph going. So if you're someone where you notice your ankles get swollen towards the day, as the day progresses, or you just get sick a lot, you have a lot of sinus congestion, the Spanish black radish gets that lymph flowing. And then we also have some Oregon grapefruit, which supports the bowels, supports immune function, skin health, supports the brain, and then fenugreek. So fenugreek seed is one of the main ingredients in a lot of the allergy nutrients that I use for my clients because of how it promotes liver function and bowel health. SP Complete. I keep this in my fridge all the time because I make a lot of smoothies. I'm busy. I like the smoothies to get myself going in the day. And it is like a whole food nutrition in a powder. You put it in your smoothies. Has amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins, essential fatty acids, other vitamins, lots of antioxidants, which help basically clean up the waste in your cells, healthy liver function, elimination of toxins, and best of all, helps you maintain a healthy weight because it helps you maintain a healthy blood sugar. And it's when our blood sugar dips that we tend to reach for those foods that are not good for us. There's a dairy-free version as well if you're sensitive. You can have a whey protein version or a rice protein version. Which also, like I said, has all those building blocks for the protein, helps with muscles, helps with blood sugar. Barley grass, rice, buckwheat, and flax. Someone asked me on Monday when I was teaching this class live, can someone on a paleo diet or grain-free diet do the SP Complete? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely can do this. Alfalfa promotes digestive health and metabolism as well. I like alfalfa for some of my clients who have thyroid issues. Works great for metabolism. SP Complete also has lots of calcium and magnesium for our bones and for our teeth and for our muscle health. So if you're someone who's prone to cramps in your legs, then that's usually indicative of a calcium or magnesium deficiency. So we want to stay sharp while we're on this cleanse, right? We don't want brain fog, and the grapeseed and red wine extracts help with that. Also help with cardiovascular support. Buckwheat, again. So our capillaries and our arterioles and venals, those little teeny tiny blood vessels, those are the unsung heroes of our cardiovascular system. And they can get stiff, they can get leaky. So the buckwheat greens, buckwheat seeds, help with the integrity with those blood vessels so that they can do what they need to do, that those nutrients can go where they need to go. Choline and inositol are two wonderful nutrients that help support nerve and brain function. They also help with blood sugar regulation. They help the liver to make bile. They're actually, when you eat them by themselves, they're really tasty and yummy. And I always joke around that we should be giving them away for Halloween like sweet tarts instead of those actual sour candies. So next up we have SP Green Food. As I mentioned, I take SP Green Food all the time. My liver loves it. And I always know when it's time to detoxify because, as I said, I wake up at 4 in the morning, raring to go. But I don't want to wake up at 4. I want to get up at 6 or 5:30. So I need that extra sleep. So SP Green Food really helps the liver to do what it needs to do. Lots of cellular health, made from 5 organically whole food plants, supports cholesterol metabolism, which I don't really worry too much about cholesterol unless it's super elevated, but it is important. Cholesterol is so important for our libido, for our adrenal glands, for our stress mechanism. Now, what's in SP Green Food? You have Brussels sprouts and kale. And kale is kind of an in veggie right now. You can see it in a lot of smoothies and stuff. And it supports normal growth and division of cells, cholesterol metabolism again, lots of antioxidant activity. So what does that mean, antioxidant activity? So your body produces its own waste as your cells produce waste, your mitochondria produce waste as you're exercising, as you're making energy, as you're digesting your food. And the antioxidants come and clear away that waste. They bind with it so that it doesn't affect the processes of your body. Buckwheat, again, we just talked about how that helps with microcirculation, but it also helps to detoxify the liver. And its protein has even been shown to help increase muscle mass and reduce body fat. I don't know about you, but I like having strong muscles. I might be in my 40s, but I want to feel like a rock star. I want to feel amazing. And the buckwheat helps to do that. Also have some barley grass for minerals and more antioxidants. Alfalfa, which, like I said, is used historically for bladder and kidney support, also for indigestion, getting rid of toxins, and for our metabolism. And then finally, we have fiber as part of the 21-day purification program. It softens the stools. Basically, here's the thing. If your liver and your liver is pulling out these toxins from your cells to be flushed out, those toxins have to stick to something to get out of the body. And so it binds to the bile, then it goes into the fiber so you can then poop it out. You can eliminate those toxins. Fiber also helps to promote a healthy balance of gut flora. So our microbiome, one of the new buzzwords in medicine and healing, digestion, fiber helps you do that. It also helps to maintain healthy lipid and blood glucose levels. All right, so there are some supportive products that you can do along with the purification program. This is one of the reasons why everyone who signs up for the purification program gets a free intake session with me, so we know exactly what you need for that process. So if you're someone who does a lot of exercise, you might want to add the Whey Pro Complete to your shakes to help with additional protein and energy. You might want to do some tuna omega-3 or calamari omega-3. There's some fat support in there, but if you're someone who doesn't really get a lot of fat in your diet, you can add those to it. Gymnema is a wonderful herb that helps to block sweet cravings. So it helps to maintain healthy blood sugars. There are even some studies that show that it can help the pancreas regenerate in type 1 diabetes. Some pretty cool studies coming out of India. But if you let one dissolve on your tongue or you spray the liquid Gymnema on your tongue, it actually blocks those receptors of the taste, the sweet taste buds, so you don't crave those sweets as much. Some people like to add a probiotic to their program. That would be prosymbiotic, help support gut flora and overall individual intestinal health. And then the Linum B6 contains flaxseed oil. Really important to be getting your healthy fats while on this program. You can do that through coconut oil, avocado, through extra virgin olive oil, and then you can also do some supplementation if that's something that we feel will benefit you. So what does the purification program look like? Days 1 through 10, you're eating unlimited raw organic fruits and vegetables, particularly green leafies. You can also do non-raw. I like to combine my cooked veggies, my cooked greens with my raw ones. We really want to have twice as many vegetables as fruit. That's really important for maintaining a healthy blood sugar. The way that I usually do it is I add the fruit to my smoothies, and then I have lots and lots of vegetables during my meals. You can have soaked lentils, quinoa, seeds. Costco, if you guys have access to a Costco, they have really good quality sprouted pumpkin and sunflower seeds. That's something you can have. Spring water, lots and lots of spring water. Lots of filtered water. You don't want to be drinking your tap water, which contains lots of chemicals. But at the same time, you don't have to buy lots of expensive bottled water. You can also have filtered water. High quality oils, we talked about that in the last slide. So your coconut oil, your avocado, your extra virgin olive oil, some flax oil, maybe some hemp seed oil. You want to be exercising and or sweating at least 4 days per week. Does that mean you have to go to the gym all the time and spend half your morning there? No, you can do a 10-minute interval workout and that'll suit you just fine. There are some days, especially at the beginning of the cleanse, where I'm a little bit more fatigued because my body's really in that detox process. And so I'll go to an infrared sauna instead for 45 minutes, and it makes me sweat, gets my heart rate up, gets my body temp up just a hair, and it's really the equivalent of working out. So you really want to be exercising. We'll be talking about that in the first class as well. And then days 11 to 21, you want the same as above, but we start to add some more protein to it. Some lean meats, some fish, lots of salmon, cod, even some things like calamari, adding it to the diet. Now, for some people, they need to add protein earlier, and that's totally fine. And we can talk about that in your intake program and during the check-in as well to see if that's something you need to add. So no set hard and fast rules. We want this to feel good for your body. So what to avoid? When you sign up for the program, you're going to be getting a program guide. And so you want to avoid anything that's not listed. This is super important. So you don't want to have margarines. You don't want to be having things like Earth Balance or those vegetable spreads. You want to avoid the hydrogenated oils and the trans fats. You want to avoid the soybean oil, the safflower oil, sunflower oil, all those oils, those polyunsaturated fats. You want them out of the diet because it's hard for the body to break them down. We're going to avoid caffeine and alcohol. Kathleen, I can hear you cringing right now. This is why we do the talk now, so that you can start to wean yourself off of caffeine. It's important for the adrenal glands just to have a little breather. It's only for 3 weeks, and then we can talk about bringing that coffee back in. Same thing with alcohol. Red wine certainly has its benefits, but it's also hard on the liver. The alcohol can be hard on the liver to break down. So we want to give the liver a break. That's what this is really all about. It's about giving the liver a break. So again, caffeine, coffee, tobacco. If you smoke, we want to get you off of those cigarettes, use a patch if we need to, other types of stimulants. I know for me, I got to give up my dark chocolate. I'm okay with that. Totally okay with that. It's good for me. Soft drinks, diet or regular sodas. We're going to be giving up nuts, beans, dairy, and grains during this cleanse. The only dairy you might have is the whey protein, which is not really like dairy, but that's an SP complete. Other than that, we want to get those proteins out of the body, give the small intestine a chance to regenerate itself. We're going to cut out processed and refined foods, like anything in a box, basically. Any fast foods we want to cut out. We're going to cut out dried and canned vegetables and fruit. I know you guys probably don't do that very often anyway, but we're going to cut those out just to be, those have a lot of added sugar to them, a lot of added salt and chemicals. And then, of course, any cured, smoked, or luncheon meats, that would be like bacon, ham. This is, we are going to be cutting out pork during this program. Pork is a food that causes a lot of allergic or sensitivity reactions in people. And also, like, we're not going to be doing like any deli meats kind of a thing. So for these 21 days. But there are lots of options, don't worry. You're going to be eating and happy. So day 1 to 7, we do 2 to 3 of the shakes a day, which have the SP Complete or SP Complete Dairy Free. We do the full bottle of SP Cleanse. I know it sounds like a lot, but you can also open up those capsules and stick them right into your shake. So if you're not a fan of swallowing capsules, you can just open up SP Cleanse, put it in your shake. You won't even taste it. It's plant-based anyway, so it's going to taste good. It's just going to taste like the veggies in your smoothie. We also add the fiber to that. So for some people are going to be doing gastrofiber, which is capsules. Again, you can put those into your smoothies, or the whole food fiber into your shake. Again, that's something we're going to customize as part of your program to see which one is preferable and right for you. For days 8 to 21, we take out the SP Cleanse and we add the SP Green Food to it. So we have lots of different ways to support each other during the program. I am not just going to leave you to fend for yourself for 21 days and suffer. You know I don't do that. I want healing and detoxing to be fun. I want you to be able to share your wins and your challenges and your questions. So we're going to have weekly classes and Q&As. We're going to be, and that's even going to start before the 21-day purification program. We have a Facebook group. If you're not part of the Wellness Oasis yet, hop onto Facebook and you can join the group right now. I'm going to be on the Facebook group every day answering questions for people. You can post your challenges, your questions. If you've got a win, like you came up with a recipe, I want you to add it. I'll be offering one 30-minute intake and goal setting session before the start of the program. So even if you're a client of mine already, we're still going to be doing this 30-minute intake as part of the purification program. There'll be a 15-minute phone or in-person check-in during the program. So I want to know how you're doing. Again, I don't want you to suffer. So if we're going to check in, see how your energy levels are, see how you're feeling, see how we can optimize your health even more during this 21-day program. You're going to get lots and lots and lots of delicious recipes. I'm so lucky because my assistant Rachel is also a chef. So she comes up with, I'll be like, hey, Rachel, can you come up with a recipe for so-and-so? And she goes, sure. And like 30 minutes later, she has an awesome recipe. And then if you haven't taken my online nutrition class yet, you're going to get complimentary access to that class. So here are some important dates of the program. March 28th is going to be class number 1. We're going to do last minute tips. We're going to talk about what to expect during the program, answer some Q&As. There's going to be a live class and an online class, so that if you're participating in this program out of California or you just can't quite make it to the class, no worries. We'll have an online version as well. March 29th, program blast off. That's when everyone's going to start. It's going to be awesome. April 4th, class number 2, the importance of body work, movement, and meditation for detoxing in daily life. We'll have a special guest in that class as well, talking about how we can use body work like chiropractic, massage therapy, osteopathy, yoga, tai chi, meditation to help not only with detoxification, but just with daily life in general. April 11th is class number 3. Let's eat. We're going to share recipes, gustatory inspirations, and how to create your post-purification menu. So what's it going to look like when we're done with the program? How do you keep up with these healthy habits? And April 18th, class number 4, it's the last day of the program. We're going to have a huge celebration. If you can make it to the in-person class, we're going to have some food. If you can't, that's okay. Even in the online version, it'll be good. And we'll talk about where we can go from here. Once you're done with the 21-day program, how do we support these healthy habits? So if you can't make an in-person or online class, no problem. All the sessions will be recorded so you can listen at your convenience. You'll be getting an email with those links. They'll be posted on the Facebook page, so no worries. So now you're probably wondering, what does this all cost? Okay, so if I added everything up, the cost of the supplements, the intake form, the check-in, the online classes, the live classes, all of that stuff, it would be $944. That's a crazy amount of money. I'm not going to charge you that. So your cost is $350. But if you sign up today, and I'll give you the link for that in just a minute, the total cost is $300. You guys, this is a total steal. An intake session with me alone costs $230. So this is a really great way to get you on board with healing, with spring cleaning, with making your liver happy. I want you to enjoy. Here in California, we're having the most amazing spring weather, but I know you guys back east, it's coming. Don't worry, you're gonna have the most amazing spring. For summer, I want you to have that energy to really go out and get out into nature and do what feels so good. So the total cost of these 4 supplements, the SP Complete or SP Complete Dairy Free, the fiber, the gastrofiber or whole food fiber, SP Cleanse, and SP Green Food, all of that put together is going to be $300. So how do you sign up? You can go to this link right here, www.earthbasedmedicine.com. That's my website, if you didn't know. So it's www.earthbasedmedicine.com/spring. It's a password protected site because I want to make sure that you listen to the webinar or my class and that you have all the information you need. And the password is health. So you can go to that website and put in the password health, and you can click on, there's a picture you're going to click on, and it's going to route you to MindBody, which is my online appointment portal. And you can purchase the program right there, and you can even book your appointment for the intake and for your check-in. So you can go to that website and get signed up, sign up online. You can always call me to sign up. You can always email me to sign up, no problem. But this is a really convenient way to do it online. So it's earthbasedmedicine.com/spring, and the password is health. So now is the time. If you guys have any questions, please use that form and ask a question. You can submit it, and I'm happy to answer your questions. If you happen to be listening to the recorded version, you can still submit a question through that form, and I can get back to you. Or you can email me a question, and I can get back to you with that as well. So we also, at this time, if you have been listening but you didn't submit your name through that form, please do, so that you can be entered into our drawing to win the 1 Degree of Change cookbook. It's a guide to the 21-day purification program. It has the most amazing, delicious recipes in it, not only for the 21-day purification program, but also just post-purification, also in general. Lots of yummy recipes, not just vegetarian recipes, also some fish recipes, some chicken recipes. Again, I love this cookbook. The first time I did the purification program was, 7 years ago, and there weren't any recipes. I was kind of on my own, and I really struggled with it. So it's come a long way. You'll have me and the rest of the group to support you, to celebrate your wins with you, to support you through your challenges, to answer your questions. Like I said, we can do that through the Facebook group. You can always email me your questions. We'll have those check-ins. Okay, so nobody has any questions? Come on, you guys. Someone's got to have a question. Who's got one? Come on. All right, no questions? All right, so I do have one question that was submitted earlier, and the question is, what is the practical way to detox your whole body, and how often should I do it? Well, all right, so, and to answer your question, I think the 21-day purification program is a great way to detox your whole body. It's a very holistic way because we're going to not only be doing super clean eating for those 21 days, but also supporting the body through sweating and movement and body work. And how often should you do it? I like to do the purification program twice a year. I time it with the spring equinox and with the autumnal equinox. So I do it in March and I do it in September. This year I've timed it a little bit later. We're going to be starting March 28th around, so we're going to be doing it after Easter. For those of you who have big Easter celebrations with family, we'll be starting it 2 days after Easter. Someone else asked me, what if I can't start on March 29th? No problem. We can tailor it for you to start whenever you need to based on spring break vacations, based on travel for your work, whatever that looks like for you. We can start it before the March 29th date, or we can start it afterwards. And you'll still have access to the Facebook group. You'll still get an intake session. You'll still get access to the online and in-person classes. So we can definitely customize that around the March 29th date, but that's when we're going to be having the whole group do it. All right, so is that the only question I'm going to get? Yes, okay, you guys. You guys are so smart. You don't even have any more questions for me. So now is the time to do a raffle. And I have some names. I'm going to write down the names right now. I'm going to put them in my cup. All right, so we have them. You can hear me. Hear me. I've got the names. Dun, dun, dun. And our winner of the 1 Degree of Change cookbook is Kathleen. Woohoo, Kathleen. You are the big winner. So Kathleen, I have your address, but do me a favor and either put your shipping address into the form or email it to me at jennifer@earthbasedmedicine.com. And I'm going to ship you that cookbook. And you guys can start enjoying some recipes even beforehand, and it will help you on that 21-day program. All right, so if you think of a question after the webinar or you feel like it's something that's too personal to ask here, feel free to email me at jennifer@earthbasedmedicine.com, and I will make sure that I answer that question for you. And I might even put that question, I won't obviously use your name, but I put that question up on the Facebook group too so that everyone can see it if people have questions. And thank you so, so much for attending the webinar. I'm so happy to have you join us, to join me for this is my first webinar. I'm super stoked to have you guys here. We really hope, Rachel and I, my assistant, we so hope you're going to be joining us on our spring cleaning and purification adventure. So again, if you need that website, it's www.earthbasedmedicine.com/spring. The password is health. And you click on the picture and it's going to route you to MindBody, which is the software I use for my online appointment system. You can purchase the program. You can make the appointment for your intake session so we can get you started, get you your products right away. Kathleen, I'm loving your excitement. And we're going to get you your products so you can get started on March 29th, get your questions answered. And there we go. I'm going to go back to the Google Hangout. And you'll see me. There I am. Okay, you guys. Thank you so, so much for joining us today. If you have any questions, please email me at jennifer@earthbasedmedicine.com. In the meantime, I hope you have an awesome, beautiful day, that you get out and enjoy this beautiful sunshine that we have. And if not, if you're back east and you're getting snow, I hope you get to enjoy the snow too. I'll be sending out an email with the replay link for this. So if you had to drop out early or you joined us late, you'll get that link and you can watch it in its entirety. I'm Jennifer Schmidt, founder of Oasis Wellness. It's been great to have you, and we'll see you guys next time.